Hey there guys, welcome. I'm Santana.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to DeFi Days. On this channel, we cover all things DeFi. If you're interested in Bitcoin or discovering what an NFT is, then you're in the right space.
Yeah, we also have a Discord if you want to talk to us about or have any questions about our videos, as well as reach out to other people in the DeFi space. We'll have that link in the description.
Don't forget, we are hosting a crypto giveaway. One of our first 50 subscribers will be awarded $50 in a crypto of their choice. All you gotta do is like and subscribe.
Yeah, super easy.
Yeah. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about jobs that will eventually or possibly become obsolete due to blockchain technology.
Yeah, different sectors or industries that will be majorly disrupted once blockchain becomes massively adopted.
Yeah.
So
I think I'll kick us off today with saying that real estate agents and insurance agents might be one of the first professions to go. I think what blockchain technology aims to do is replace that third party that is overseeing a transaction or making it happen. I think smart contracts are a big factor in that, and we can safely assume that those types of positions will become obsolete in the future.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. With an online ledger that proves ownership of any house or whatever, you won't need that intermediary and all that paperwork. You can just sign the online documents, and all that can be created into a smart contract.
Yeah. I can see
DocuSign. There will be, instead of real estate agents, you'll have smart contract lawyers. People will be, your real estate agents will now be writing smart contracts.
Right. And then sending you the DocuSign from home, so it's a simple signing.
Or you'll be
process.
buying an NFT, and that fee of the NFT will be the real estate's commission. So if the developer, the real estate agent, crafts a smart contract, aka the contractor, does the paperwork, they get that fee from the NFT. So that's kind of how this could all play in on the blockchain.
Exactly. And instead of you having to work through an insurance agent, to purchase your insurance and to, set up what types of tiers of service you're looking for, it's simple as going to the website, purchasing it from right there, and having that as, having that as your insurance without having to go through those, those third parties.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Second on the list actually is the third party payment options. So when you have a smart contract, and we just touched on this, you don't need a third party to execute the transaction.
Yeah.
Someone to go ahead and sign off on it or send it to something. So when I think about it, and this might be the wrong example, but I like to think about it like this. When you go to a merchant and you're going ahead and swiping your credit card, you are sending that money from you to your credit bureau. They're going ahead and to your credit company. They're going ahead and okaying it, and then it's going to the merchant. Whereas with a lot of the newer technologies, what you can do is goes directly from customer to the merchant. So that's that's a two-way transaction versus having that third party in the way.
So the peer-to-peer transactions.
Yeah, peer-to-peer transaction. It almost seems common sense. So I always kind of think to myself, like, what happened?
You would think that that's how it works right now, if you didn't know any better.
Right.
Just because I swipe my card, my money goes to them. But it goes through a bunch of loopholes. It doesn't just go from me to you.
Exactly. And there's always a transaction fee associated with each charge. And that's why you're charged 50 cents at the convenience store, or 75 cents on top of whatever you're using. Yep. Exactly. So it usually says it right there, like a
ATM fees,
50 cent charge for using credit versus cash or whatever. So
exactly.
That's something to see that we can expect to see, go within the coming years.
Yeah.
I think a big one though, and kind of almost the elephant in the room, banks. That's the whole purpose in the first place, right? Is that we can get rid of this
decentralized finance.
Exactly, decentralized finance, and we can get rid of this kind of like hidden information, and I think we can
where money is being sent
all day about how
the fees.
Exactly, yeah. We can talk all day about how sketchy banks have been
how
very, just unethical they've been, from Wells Fargo to, Bank of America to a lot of different...
Since banks have been created, banks have been shady.
Exactly. And so it's really awesome to kind of see the transference of power within, from like the institutions to the people.
Exactly.
And it's something to look forward to for sure. I think that smart contracts, all of these things are going to be replacing a lot of the daily duties of bankers and stuff that nature.
Definitely.
With the open ledger, what do you think about like those types of technologies, and how does it differentiate from what we have already in place?
As far as banking, it just makes more transparency, and it gives the user access to their data. You know, they know where their fees are being sent. They know basically what's happening to their money. Essentially, it just gives more transparency and
yeah. And I think what's really awesome about it is that there's still a level, like there still remains a level of anonymity associated with it. It's not like, you know what I mean, my name is out there saying that this money was sent to this person specifically. It's more or less a
letters
wallet
and numbers,
address.
yeah.
Exactly. And so that still gives you the security of feeling like, you know, you're not out there, you know, doxxed for the whole world to, you know what I mean, to know who they are and stuff. And so I think that's awesome. For sure.
A couple other industries that'll be interrupted, I think, will be the healthcare industry. So right now it's really tricky to get a hold of your healthcare information if you move. So for example, if you go from one side of the country to another, or even from one doctor to another, sometimes if they're not in the same network, they have troubles communicating what immunizations you've had, what procedures you've had done, and that can create a lapse in care. So it can create increased time in your care, because what if a doctor doesn't see something because they didn't know of your previous results in time, because it took an extra week to get there, or all these other things. So having all of that put on the blockchain, you'd have access to it, and it would be every healthcare place could have access to your information essentially, because it would be decentralized. You know, they'd be part of the blockchain.
Interesting. So do you see that becoming like this, like one world healthcare organization?
Maybe not one world, but I think it could expand what we currently have. So maybe Washington might have its own blockchain network where all of the Washington talks to each other. The United States might have its own, or the West Coast might have its own. And so, but even within there, it's easy to talk maybe from one blockchain to another.
So okay, I can see that for sure.
If it's proved on this blockchain, it could possibly be accepted into a new blockchain as like the next block.
Right. Okay. For sure. So that just like basically, you know, shortens transaction time, like not even transaction time, but transference time from like, you know, from hospital. Say.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Which can save lives, which is awesome.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. Another big thing is voting. So voting right now has been a big issue in the past election. A lot of people were claiming voter fraud and this and that. And if we had voting on the blockchain, it would be a lot more secure. Yeah. Because, you know, there's a verified record of every vote that happened, when it happened, in the order it happened, so you can track like who voted before who. And if any of that information was changed, like we've covered previously, if a block gets changed, you know, it throws up a red flag and everybody can see that. So it's a lot harder to manipulate those things, and it's easily verified. Like that's the benefit of a blockchain, is having things verified by everybody.
And I think this would, if not completely eradicate, but limit the amount of recounts and how many recalls that there
voter
are
fraud
called for, and voter fraud claims. Like it's just it's so much easier to rely on something as transparent as blockchain, as opposed to something like a centralized authority going ahead and counting these votes. And I'm sure that they've tried to, you know, increase their transparency as the years have gone on, of course, but like it's just they'll never compete with that level of transparency.
No. The decentralized security, it puts people at the ease of mind knowing that no one government or authority controls the votes or controls the tally count. You know, everybody can kind of see it as it's going up.
Yeah, that is progress, in my opinion, for sure.
It'll be a while before we get there. I think a lot of people will be against technology for voting. And I think, you know, it's a long time coming, but it's definitely one of the industries that will be disrupted down the line. You know, whether it be voting for it'll start small. It won't start and be the voting for the president is used on a blockchain. It'll start be, you know, local voting or
municipal you know, votes and whatnot.
It could be like voting for your governor or, you know, your local state council. Like those votes will be put on blockchain first, and then they'll kind of test it out, and I think it'll be really successful. So I'm looking forward to that.
Great.
Yeah. Lastly is the food supply chain. If that gets put onto the blockchain, that'll be a game changer.
For sure.
So what that means is being able to track your food and any produce you buy from the time it was a seed all the way up to when you buy it at the store. So that means from the farm it was grown on, to the people that picked it, to the trucks that it was sent out on, to the places it was stored at, all the way up until where you buy it. So that could be helpful. That could be helpful for a number of reasons.
I can completely like visualize an interface where you have where Safeway or like places like grocery stores like Whole Foods start to adapt this like interface or like this app that allows you to really track from seed to sale, like for any type of produce or for any type of like good that you can actually buy at these places. And I think that's not only good for your health, good for knowing what you're putting into your body, but good for the company to remain with that transparency of like, hey, this is where we're coming from, this is what we're offering you as a service, and this is why you're, shopping with us. And that also creates real trust.
Yeah. It also allows people to support certain communities that they want to, and know where their money's going, and know the kind of people and what they're supporting.
Yeah, talk about shop local, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think that's a huge part. Business, import-export business is based around, international trade, I feel like, but at the same time, it's like, it's so important for us to like, in Washington, in where Mukilteo, where I'm from, or in other places to really support the local community and stuff like that. Whether it's a farmer's market or it's a grocery store, a local grocery store. So
yeah, exactly. And then you can also know the freshness of your produce. How long was this in storage?
Exactly.
There's just so many different reasons why this would be a game changer.
And I'm just thinking about it, and I could be wrong. Comment down below if there is already a system like this in place that doesn't use blockchain technology. Yeah. But I mean, I've used lots of delivering services from Swans to Instacart to Safeway delivery, and it doesn't seem like there is a system like this that exists.
The most you get is Walla Walla on your onions. Yeah. Your onions come from Walla Walla, or like your sack of potatoes. You know what city they come from, but that's about the best you get.
And short of going to the farmers market and meeting the growers themselves and being like, okay, well, this grew here for sure. You know what I mean? This saves you a trip, and this is all about kind of expediting the process. We're in a world, in a scary time and place in the world right now with a lot of restrictions on going out, and just to save yourself the hassle, ordering something to your front door and still getting that same level of security as going down to the farmer's market yourself, huge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, of course. Definitely. Well, that about wraps things up for today.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, we have a giveaway going on. Don't forget, one of our first 50 subscribers is going to win $50 in a cryptocurrency of your choice. All you have to do is like the video and be subscribed.
Definitely. And go ahead and jump in that Discord. We'll have it linked below. We're creating an awesome community where people are interacting with each other, all things DeFi.
Yeah, come check us out.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good day.
Bye.